All right, I'm back. Welcome back. This is Captain Coder. I am working on Trijam number 149. The theme of Trijam number 149 is flip. So I'm making a game similar to Flip Legends, where you have sort of a character that flips around on the screen, destroying enemies, collecting coins, and avoiding obstacles. All right, so Trijam, for anyone who doesn't know, is a game jam where you get 3 hours to write a program, three hours to write a game. That 3 hours does not include prep time, so you can spend time planning, doing preparation for what you're going to do, and that doesn't count against you. The only time that counts towards your actual time is time spent in your editor, writing code, making art, making music, that sort of thing. I am not making any original art for this game, so all the art I'm using are assets I have found. I haven't found any music yet, so usually in my last session I try to add music, sound effects, that sort of thing. I did one session, so I got my player movement down, I got my map generation down. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So here I am in Unity. So you have a little player. The player can flip around the screen, flip around the board. If you try to jump off the left side, you move to the right side. If you try to jump off the right side, you move to the left side. You can also do a back flip. All right, so move around. These spikes are going to kill you. The skeletons, when you beat them, are going to give you it's going to give you extra time, and these coins are going to go towards your score. All right, so you want to get to the end of the map without hitting any obstacles. This will require you to kill skeletons to get time, and your score is going to be based on your time plus your, you have like time remaining will give you some points, and then the number of coins you picked up will give you some points. All right, so that's what we have so far. We've done that much. So let's switch to dot cam and think about what we're going to do for session 2. All right, so deactivate my face, activate my dot cam, and here we go. All right, so the camera will focus here for us. There it goes. We're gonna, oh, what happened to my music? My music's gone. Hang on. Get that music back up so you don't have to have something little extra to listen to. There we go. Oh, I like that. Stream beats. Great stuff. Harris Heller. All right. Royalty-free music. If anyone here streams or makes YouTube videos or anything, just look up Stream Beats. Great music to have on in the background. Okay. Next, here we are. So last time we created our grid, we created our player controller, we created a basic obstacle, basic enemy, and a basic coin. So we have our map generation happening, we have our player movement happening. That was hour 1. So we have like the basis for a game now. Session 2, we got to do a little bit more. So in the grid controller, when the player moves, we need to actually look and like check to make sure the position they go to is okay. If it's not, the player needs to die. If we get to the end, the player needs to win. If we hit enemies, we need to destroy the enemies. If we get power-ups, we need to destroy the power-ups. All right, so I need to write a few scripts for this one. So I need to have my enemy controller. All right, so my enemy controller, all it's gonna do for our case right now, enemy controller, it's just gonna have like a destroy method. And for now, all it's gonna do is gonna remove it from the screen. And what I'll probably end up doing is adding an explosion effect or something like that, maybe a shrinking. Destroy will eventually play the sound, but this just gets added to our enemy controllers. So that way when the player steps on it, we can do destroy and then add our code in there to fix it. Same thing with our power up controller. It's gonna have a destroy. Or maybe I'll call it collect. Collect might be a better name for a method. Collect. All right. And then, although if I call these all the same thing, you know what? These are all going to be subclasses. So they're all going to just have a destroy method that gets called. And our obstacle controller, same thing. we'll have a destroy, but this one actually is going to destroy the player. So these are all going to be part of a super class called map objects. Probably come up with a better word for that, but these are things that the player can touch, and I'm just going to write subclasses. So then in my grid, I'm going to have a lookup for these. So they're sparse. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to do a dictionary of row column to a map object. Okay. This works like an array, except I can use 2 indices and I don't have to have all the spaces have something in it. And I have quick access by row column. All right, so the map object, when a player goes in a spot, we check to see player moves. So in addition to player moves, we need to check to see, if element at row column. If so, call the destroy method. All right, so then the destroy method is going to decide what to do. So for our enemy controller, increase players remaining time. Okay, power up, increase player score, and on an obstacle, game over / player dies. So if the player dies, that's going to happen. I also think I'm going to make it so that way beating an enemy, this is what's going to refill, so players remaining time, and refill the backflip. All right, so I had that backflip in there. You're gonna have one backflip and then you lose it. The only way to get it back is you have to defeat an enemy. When you defeat an enemy, you get your backflip back, which makes you a little bit more mobile. All right, so you gotta save it, do a little bit of planning ahead, that sort of thing. So we get a game over here, increase the score here, refill that. So a couple other things I'm going to have to add in then is for my player controller. I'm going to need to add in a score. I'm going to actually just call it coins collected, and that's going to be calculated into our score. Total coins collected. It's going to be an integer. Time remaining. It's going to be a float. We're going to have a max time remaining. So I think that's what we want. So max time, because this will let us have sort of a bar that will decrease over time. So we have time remaining, max time remaining. Yeah, I think that's what we need in our grid. We need to add an end idea of how to end. So I think when we get to the end, I don't have an asset for this yet, so I'm just going to add in it's like probably a long tile at the end. Grid, end location. So when you get to the end of the grid, it needs to grid end location win, and then wait for the game, wait and allow next level. All right, so and then it'll regenerate. You go to the next level, it just regenerates, and so you have levels that just like regenerate over and over. I want to make it so that the levels use a seed, or levels So level 1 will be seed 1, level 2 will be seed 2. So the levels will be randomly generated, but they'll always be the same. So I think that's the plan, what I want to do. So here's the order I'm going to try to get things done. So I have, let's see, we're at 1 hour and 3 minutes. So I have about 57 minutes left to gamify this. And then I'll have 1 hour left tomorrow in my last session. So we're at, let's see if I can show 1 hour, 3:31. So I have about 50 minutes to get all of these features in. So I don't know, probably gonna go over on this one. This might have been a little bit too ambitious of a project, but yeah, so I need to start one in grid, add map object dictionary, add a map object dictionary. 2, add a power up script to increase coins collected. So then I'll add that to my coins. After I have that, add add power up to grid dictionary. Okay, so we're gonna add this to the grid dictionary. 4, add check when player moves. So when the player moves, so we got to add a check for when the player moves to check grid and call destroy. Okay. 5, add enemy script plus grid dictionary. 6, so this should just cover that. Add obstacle script plus grid dict. So we're gonna add the obstacle. Then we got to figure out how to restart. So 7, add game over / restart, and then 8, add win at last position of grid. Okay, so that, if I can get that done, all right, if I can get that done in 2 hours, 50, actually not 2 hours, 50 minutes, I'll be pretty happy. But that's what I got to get done this session, so that's what I'm going to do, get all that done. And then in the last session, with whatever time's left, probably going to end up going over a little bit, add in some UI for like a start screen, add in sounds, add in music, add in interface UI stuff, make it look a little bit shinier. All right, so let me get Unity open here. Looking at my, let me get my face cam back on so you can watch the panic in my eyes as I'm running out of time. So let me review here. First thing, add map object dictionary. All right, so in my grid, that's the first thing I want to do. All right, so I'm starting my timer up here. I'm 1 hour, 3 minutes, 31 seconds, and go. Okay, so grid controller, need to add in a dictionary here. I need to make a new script actually. First, I need to create a C# script for my map object. All right, and map object is going to have a public virtual void destroy. So by default, it does nothing, and then we subclass it and able to do some stuff with it. So then our grid controller, I'm able to say public. There's a couple things I need to add to my player. Go ahead and add those now. Int coins collected. Public float time remaining. Public float max time. We'll start off with 20 seconds, I think. And we can adjust that. Levels can randomly change that. And time. Ooh, that's a bad variable. Oh, time remaining. Okay. Time remaining equals max time. Okay, and so it's just gonna decrease based off when the game started. Public float start at. So that's going to be the first time we move. Start at is going to be set to a value. And so start at is going to be equal to -1 initially. And when we move... Oh, this needs to be in our player controller. Hang on. I'm in the wrong file. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is why I'm bad at planning. I'm like, I'm going to do this thing, and I immediately start on something that I didn't say I was going to do. Okay, so the first time I move, if start time, I'm going to change it to start time. If start time is -1, less than 0, start time equals time. So your timer's not going to move. The second you move, it starts. All right, so then it flips around. And when you get to the end, you can't move. Okay. Grid controller. Grid controller here. Dictionary. Public dictionary. And this is going to be a row column to a map object. Map objects. And just make this private. Don't need it to access. In fact, you can't even access dictionaries out in Unity anyway. So new dictionary. This. Okay. So when we generate, so these all need to be map objects now. So these, rather than being a game object, all right, I'm going to make a couple classes, a couple subclasses of map objects. So let's copy, paste, paste, paste. This one's going to be enemy controller. And it extends map object. This one, it's going to be obstacle controller. That, and then this one is going to be coin controller or power up. Okay, and rename that power up. Roller. Have this reload. Go back to my grid. Obstacles should be obstacle controllers. Enemy controllers. Power up controllers. I'm gonna have to go add those to each of my prefabs real quick. Time remaining does not exist. This should be in player controller. Alphabetical order. I can find it. Okay. We start. Max time. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Time remaining. I'm gonna have to do something with that. Do something. This needs to actually not be time remaining. It needs to be like we're going to calculate time remaining based off of our start at time. So this is going to be, I didn't think ahead enough on that. Okay. This needs to be, rather than the game object, these are map objects. Yeah. Okay, so all of these are map objects. Beautiful. And when we generate these, they need to get added to our dictionary. So map objects dot add at row column, we're going to add tile. Yeah, and tile's a terrible name, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. So this is what I was saying, the trap I was making for myself last time by not abstracting these. Okay, so now my map's going to get updated. I need to clear out my map objects when I generate a grid, wipe it out, and then reload it. Okay, so I got my map object. I need to actually, let's get up my power up script working. Okay, cool. I'm gonna actually add these to, oh, I'm gonna have to re-add all my prefabs. They're gonna be broken now. Skeleton prefab. So this is gonna be an enemy, enemy controller on this guy. Okay. My pirate coin, power up controller, and then my spike is in tiles. Spike prefab is a obstacle controller. Okay, so I got all those set. Come back into my grid because I have a type mismatch here. Obstacles, there's my spikes, power-ups, power-ups, and enemies should be my skeleton. Let's see if generate grid is happy. Okay, generate the grid, and it's happy. It's happy, I'm happy. So that's good. Next, what we need to do is when the player moves, we need to check the grid at that location and do a thing. So we're gonna do grid controller. We're just gonna add public void check move. Hit all, and this is gonna look at the dictionary. So map objects dot contains key row column. So if there's an object there, map objects at the row and column, we're gonna look that up and we're gonna call destroy. This is gonna be an issue because it might be an issue. There's going to be an issue where if we destroy it and then we move into that space again, it's going to re-trigger even though the object is like removed from the scene. So after we call destroy, I need to just make sure I have a method here called public void remove remove map object that will allow me, if necessary, to remove it from the map so it doesn't trigger twice. If map objects dot contains key at the row column, map objects dot remove, we're just gonna remove it. Okay, I don't know if I thought this all the way through, but we're gonna do okay. All right, so now I'm gonna create a new folder here called map objects. Move all those things in there because my brain is having trouble seeing them all. Enemy controller, map object, obstacle controller, and power up controller. All right, and let's close. Go ahead and close all. And map objects, power up controller. All right, so when this thing gets destroyed, if this game object is not equal to null, we're just gonna add this check in here. Then this game object destroy. No, unity engine object destroy. We're going to destroy this game object. Player controller instance coins collected plus. So we're going to increase the coins collected, and then we want to remove this from our grid controller instance remove map object this. Oh no row and column. All right, this is sad. This is a hack. We're just gonna pass. We're gonna make map object take in an int row and int call. I didn't think there's probably a better solution to this, but this is the hack where we're gonna go ahead and write for this particular thing. And then here we pass in row call. Okay, let's see if it's happy. Let's see if it compiles. I got some warnings. I gotta actually say override. Go into each one of these saying I want to override this virtual method. Okay. All right. Back here. No warnings. I should be able to collect coins now. Nope. Does not. Index out of bounds. Okay. So it is triggering. This was actually an index out of bounds, so I jump back. I'm not actually calling this check. So after my player moves, I need to call check. So in my move, after I update my row and my column, I'm gonna do grid controller dot instance dot check move on the row and column. That's what we do. And so one of the downsides of this is it's going to happen before the animation. So I just need to make it delay the collection of it by the player's speed. So in my power up control, what would be the way to do this? I'm going to write a destroy at, private float destroy at, set it to -1 initially. No, I'm going to set it to float dot infinity. Not is infinity, positive infinity. And then in our update, we're just going to set it to be destroyed. So we don't actually destroy this here. We remove it from the grid and we say destroy at is equal to time plus the current time plus the amount of time it would take for the player to move there. So player controller dot instance dot move duration. Okay, so it's not until the player arrives in that spot that we'll collect it. I mean, I can play around with that number a little bit. And then in my update, I say if, so I don't need to worry about this anymore. I do want that down here. If the game object's not null, and destroy this dot come on, and this dot why is that this dot destroy at unity is not detecting something. This dot destroy at is less than time dot time, less than or equal to. Then we're gonna go ahead and destroy it. This dot. God, why is this having so much? I found it. I had an extra curly brace where it didn't need to be. Okay, Unity engine dot object dot destroy this dot game object. Okay, and I probably want to trigger some kind of animation, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. And I'll play a sound, blah 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 blah. I'm probably gonna rewrite that to be a method. There we go. So now, only when we actually land in this spot, boom, boom, get those coins. All right, cool. Pretty happy with that. Let me just make sure my player object is getting coins. Coins collected, 1, 2. Sweet. Notice, I think, am I doing the right seed thing? Yeah, the map actually generates the same every time. My player, I want to start at row 1. No, row 0, column 1. I want it to start in the middle of the board. I don't like it starting on the side. Okay. Grid controller. I don't want to spawn anything in the first couple spaces. So where's my grid controller? Grid controller. Right here. I'm gonna start at. I still have to do them. I don't generate anything, so. What did I press? Okay. 1 hour 20 minutes. If row is less than 5, continue. All right. So we are not the first 5 rows. We're not going to put anything in it. Okay. There we go. For the first 5 rows, we don't get anything, and then we have stuff. Okay, looking rotation is 0. That's okay. We're gonna ignore that warning. That's just because the player's in the same spot. Okay. All right. So I want to do the same thing for my close all. My enemy controller. So my power up gonna be essentially the same thing here, but instead of coins collected, we're gonna call a method. I'm gonna run a method increase time. Increase time. And so I'm gonna go to my player controller, public void increase time. And increase time, I think I'm just going to need to have like, if I just increase our start time by a little bit, it will max time 20, start time. So yeah, the hack I'm going to do here essentially for time remaining, we actually don't have a time remaining. We have a start time and a max time, and so start times I keep going down, and when I increase time, this is going to have start time minus equals. We're going to give it 3 more seconds. So it's going to decrease start time by 3, which is going to allow us to have additional time. Right, start time, but I also want to make it so that we can't go past a specific amount of time. So maybe what I should do is say end time. I have an end time that gets set plus equals 3. Okay, so we're gonna add in an end time. So we want to start time, public float, end time equals end time's not set to anything, but when the game starts, time remaining, we get rid of that. When we start, end time is going to be equal to time.time plus max time. Okay. And then end time is going to get increased. So end time is going to get increased. It's just going to make my bar work properly. So I don't want my end time. I'm just going to leave it at that. And we'll deal with it. Okay, so my enemy controller instance.increase time, let that reload. There we go. Okay, so my time should increase. So let's watch here. So I haven't moved. So my player's start time is -1. His end time is 0. Boom. All right, so my get it, and my end time increases. All right, but I want to make sure that my end time, I never have more than 20 seconds. So my end time minus my game time. So end time, if end time minus current time is greater than 20, then end time equals time.time plus 20. So we can never have more than 20 seconds to beat the game. Greater than max time. Okay. We're an hour and 25. All right. So let's watch this real quick. My end time never it always increases just by like a little bit. If I give it some time, now it should increase by the full 3. Full 3. All right, cool. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is add a little indicator on the screen. Is that really what I want to do? My optical script, I need to add a method here to my player. So I'm in my player, public void die. So I'm going to make it so my player can die. For now, I'm just going to write a little die message here and essentially copy this. We don't need to destroy it. Actually, my obstacle controller, it'll wait. Yeah, I still want that. It's gonna wait a second. No, it's gonna call die on the player right away. Okay, so my optical controller is going to call player controller dot instance dot die. So all that's gonna happen is when you move into that spot, it's gonna call die. Die is gonna make it so you can't move anymore. So we gotta add in a public bool can move equals true. Okay. When we die, can move equals false. And in our move method, which is somewhere outlined, what the heck? There it is. Move. I'm just blind. If can move. If we can't move, we just don't do it and just return. And that'll probably trigger the game over screen as well. Okay. So let's go jump into spikes, and we can't move. We got die. Okay. So jumping into spikes, we're gonna play a animation, whatever. We're at 1 hour, 28 minutes. Let me get a game over screen so we can hit restart. We're gonna get an add and win, and then we're gonna get multiple levels. Yeah, we're gonna get multiple levels. I'm excited about it. Okay. Game over screen. All right, so let's add in, set my game to 16 by 10, create a canvas. It's going to be game screen, or entire screen. Okay, let's make this bad boy scale with the screen. 13, limit it 800 by 600. I think that is, no, 960 by 600. That's what we want. 960 by 600. I like to have it scaled by height. Okay. So then I'm going to create a canvas inside of here. So this is going to be UI. And this is going to stretch to be, no. This is going to be centered and be 900 by 600. That way, when the screen changes size, our UI sort of stays in the middle. All right, so I could probably remove the canvas scale, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it. All right, so now inside of this, I'm going to add in a game over, create a UI. One more canvas is going to be our game over screen. Game over screen. Okay, the game over screen is going to stretch to fill up the whole space. Let's add in some text. There it goes. And this is going to say game over. And I want this to be centered. Not centered, which is there we go. Now it's centered. Make it so it can overflow. We're going to switch the font that was in my pack. We're going to make it white. We're going to make it 128 maybe. Looks okay-ish. The colors are bad. Let's make it black, and then we're gonna duplicate it. Game over. Game over shadow. We're gonna make this one game over. And we'll make this one. We're gonna make this one white, and we're just gonna have it shifted 1, 2, 2. Game over like that. And let's actually just add. Want to make a panel parent. Create UI. Wrong button. Create UI panel. Oh, ugly panel. This panel is going to contain these. And this panel, we don't want it to stretch. We're going to put it in the center. And we're going to make it, make sure my canvas is changing, scaling to, yeah. Okay, so the panel is going to be 300, 600 by 300. These, just make this stretch. I want to make it. Alright, then we're gonna tell the center like that. Alright, so that gets it in the middle, and then I'll switch it back to center. My panel, let's make it a little smaller, 150. Or let's make this take up the whole. There we go. That looks okay. Don't mind that. Give it a black look. I like black. Black. Game over. Give it a little, just a small amount of opacity. Game over. Game over shadow. 2, 2, 3, 5. Okay. game over. Give it a little bulkiness there. I need color on this. Ugh. I think that looks okay. Game over screen. And then I need to add in a button. UI button. And we're gonna have this be try again. Make the text on it. Try again. Okay. And we'll have this scooched down. Oh. Go here. Scooch it down. Oh, I have the wrong thing selected. That's probably gonna some kind of nightmare related to UI resizing. Seems okay. Try again. Make the font a little bigger and the button a little bigger. 32. Try again. Try 48. And 60. Okay. And we can be something funny. Look again. Around the corners. Not around the corners nicely. There's probably a nice way to do it. 180. No, 180. Okay. So try again is gonna reset the game. So yeah, so try again should reset the game. So in my grid controller, I need some sort of restart button. Public void restart. And this will cause it to regenerate. So flip again. Will bring us back to the beginning. So flip again. And this is going to be on our grid controller. Grid controller, I call restart. Restart's gonna hide all of this stuff, so our game over screen. Need a reference to our game over screen. Always starts getting messy there here at the end. Public canvas game over screen. Okay, and our game over screen. When we restart, game over screen dot set active dot game object dot set active false. So we'll go ahead and disable that. When we restart, we're gonna generate grid, and then we'll do the player. We're gonna go ahead and reset the player as well. Later. Need a reset. Public void reset. Reset. Move the player to. Oh, we have nothing in here to reset the player. All right, so coins collected equals 0. I'm gonna set the start time to -1, I think. Or default, yeah. Start time to -1. Row 0, our column equals 1. So that should get us to go back to the beginning. And when we die, we need to activate the game over screen. So this would be grid controller dot instance dot game over screen dot game object dot set active true. We'll probably add a little bit of a delay to this if we have time. So we're at an hour and 38 minutes. So we're doing all right. Doing all right. There's some sort of importer thing. This is exactly why I created the none input at the beginning. So my event system I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna set all of these to none because I don't need keyboard support or controller support. What is this? There's like this little thing, TMP importer coming up. There appears to be your first time to access the Text Mesh Pro. I must have hit something dumb. Did none with all caps. None, 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 none. I don't want Text Mesh Pro. I've done something weird and it's causing this Text Mesh Pro thing to pop up every time I click anything. Flip again. Game over screen's not set up. So here, game over screen there, and by default our game over screen is hidden. Okay. Game over. Flip again. When I restart, can move equals true, and backflip equals true. In my enemy controller, I want to do player controller, like player controller instance can backflip equals true. And then in my player controller, when I move, when I do a backflip, and backflip equals false. So I can only backflip once, and then if I kill an enemy, I should be able to backflip again. Over the way. All right, I flip. Game over. Flip again. Oh, come on. Why can't I move? Player can move. Did I not set it in my grid controller when I restarted it? Called player restart. Player controller dot what am I looking for? Player controller dot instance dot reset. Okay. Moving too fast. I'm not naming things as well as I should be. Alright, so boom, flip again. Move again, but it didn't. Oh, in my generate. Generate, I want my player controller. We're gonna have a public int level. Alright, the level's gonna be 1 by default, and in my grid controller, I'm gonna generate the board. So when I generate the board, RNG equals new system dot random player controller dot instance dot level. So the level should always be the same. All right, so it's going to be different this first time, but every time thereafter should. All right. That makes me a little nervous. Okay. So it always sends us back. Be nice to make. Alright, cool. I need to not be bad at this game. Kill a guy, kill a guy. I can backflip. I can't backflip. I can backflip. Ooh, missed him. Alright, so gotta just be a little bit. Oh man, I can't backflip. I'm gonna die. All right, here we go. Oh, okay. All right. I have what feels like an actual game here. I just gotta make it so if I get to the end, my level increases and I restart. Player controller, I need to add a little thing here for winning. Get rid of this debug log. Public void win. In this case, can move. It's going to be true. False. We stop moving. And then I need to make my a level cleared UI. So I'm gonna duplicate that level cleared screen and activate it. And we'll make this a little bit better later. Level cleared. You flipping did it. Have this say next level. Flip again. Next level. Okay, next level button is going to just call restart, and the level will have gone up. So it'll send the player back to the beginning. The level will go up. So level plus plus. Okay, can move is false. Level plus plus. All right, and we'll add like some stuff onto that screen as far as like, and we'll add like a previous level and potentially like select level screen or something. Oh, I gotta actually get to the end here. Move. We say if row is equal to grid controller.instance.distance greater than or equal to, just in case something crazy happens. When. And when we gotta activate this screen. So grid controller, add in a second screen, game over screen, cleared screen. Cleared screen, clear, grid. Cleared screen, there we go. Add that in there, and then in our player, we're gonna do grid controller.instance.cleared screen.game object set active true. All right, so now I gotta actually get to the end. We're at 1 hour 46 minutes. Just be careful. I need to make sure that it's always possible to win as well, which shouldn't be too hard to do. I just gotta make a little like copy of the player run through the level randomly and clear out any tile it lands on. Just clear out that space. So if there is an obstacle, make it so that way you flippin' did it. All right, cool. I gotta remove next level. I gotta clear that. Okay. Oh, we're on another level. Next level. Okay, so that worked, but in my grid controller restart, we can also do cleared screen.gameObject.set active false. Okay. Okay. All right. So when at last position, I'm just gonna make it so that way, we're just gonna spawn one more row at the end in the last row. Last row can't have anything in it. And row is not equal to distance. Oh, row is equal to distance. Or, all right, so for the first row or the last row, and let me just make a bunch of small levels to test. Make them short, distance 10. So you should always be able to make it to the end. What I should do is just add like 5 extra ones at the end. And did it. Ooh, I can make it where the distance increases. So we start out with some short levels. Looks like I'm gonna have to make more spikes because a little too easy. Died on that one. All right, I'm playing too much. I'm wasting time playing, but all right. Hour 50 minutes right now. I need to make it so if your timer runs out, you lose. So that shouldn't be too hard in my update. I just got to add a little thing in here that says check time. Check time public void check time, and if you run out of time, it just falls dead. So if end time is less than or equal to time.time, we just call die. And then that's it. Otherwise, we gotta just add a little thing that animates. Again, okay, I did something wrong. If end time and start time greater than 0. Okay. Now we should be able to, let's set our max time to 5. And we move. And yeah, and you can't move. Okay, so you have a limited amount of time. Let's just add real quick to the screen. We're gonna just add a timer in the top that says time remaining, and I'm gonna turn that into a bar later. So create, just duplicate the canvas, and this is gonna say time remaining. And this will always be visible. At the top, move these, go to the top, position, center, middle. Let's have the pivot be 0, pivot be 1, yeah. Intuition, got me. Height, go with 100, width is fine, position 0. Let's see, because you're gonna just have a number that gets updated. And so in our player controller, no, public unity engine.ui.text, time remaining. And when we do an update, we do a check time, else. So here we'll do time remaining dot text equals times up. And then here time remaining dot text is equal to time tr. We'll calculate that. And tr is going to be an int tr is equal to end time minus an int. So it should just count down now. If I were to here, remove the text. Player time remaining text 0. Time's up. Okay. So maybe I make it a float and we just have it. Well, I'm gonna turn it into a bar, so I'm just gonna leave it there. And I'm gonna say if math dot y math system.math dot max of 0 tr. We don't show a negative number. Actually, we'll just say else if start time less than 0, system dot not system. That's a Java thing. Time remaining dot text equals ready. All right, so we'll just say ready. We still can put that in there. Remaining text should start ready. I need the countdown timer to stop if we win. Okay, so when we win or die, I'll just make this check time. If we can move, so if we can't move, we just return. Hour and 55. I'm pretty excited about this. Boom. Flippin' did it. I think at 3 seconds of bonus time is going to be way too much on these enemies. So player controller increase time, we're going to add 1 second. Because you can move fast. Bonus time, do 1.5. A second and a half. So I need to make sure that it at least generates 1 spike or something. It's too easy when it's this short. Okay, so I need to make it a little longer. So grid controller, distance. All right, distance is going to be calculated by the level. So what I'm going to do, we're going to generate grid. Distance is equal to 20 plus level times level player color dot level instance dot level times 5. And I can play around with that number, but that's what we're gonna do. Oh, it's because the first 5 spots can't have spikes in them. Oh no. All right. All right, we have a freaking game here. I'm hitting stop on my timer. I'm very pleased with this. I'm at 1 hour 58 minutes and 44 seconds, and we have a playable game, and only polish left to add, essentially. So I have a full hour to add some polish onto this. I'm super happy with it. Yeah. So it says ready. We move. Oh, I can die. The levels always have a little thing that is going to tell you what level you're on. It'd be really cool if I could get like a per level high score type thing. Died again. When I die, does the timer stop? It does. Okay. So what I need to do next, and so I'm gonna save this for tomorrow. Oh yeah. Got someone in the chat saying they just popped in, saw the last few seconds. So I have a playable game now, which I'm pretty excited about. So it's gonna tell you how much time you have left in the top. If you run out of time, time's up, and you can flip again. All right, and so that's gonna just restart the level you're on. If you get these skeletons, you get a little bit of bonus time. That'll have to be adjusted. And you get to the end, we get to another level, and every level gets a little bit longer than the last one. So you can like end up learning the levels. But I think what I should do is make it so it's a little bit more, oh no. As you get further and further levels, you get more and more likely to spawn spikes, right? So then I'm gonna have to make it so you can. I need to make the coins are getting added at the end. All right, so there's a couple things I gotta do at the end. I gotta make it so that way it shows a score, or even during the game it shows the score showing you how many coins you've collected. And then you get some bonus for how much time you had remaining. So it'll give you like a score for that level. So every level will have a score. You can move to the next level, previous level. I want to maybe have like a level select screen at the beginning, so you can just specify what level you want to jump to. But I think one of the most important things I need to do is make it so that way levels are guaranteed to be winnable. Right now, it's not a guarantee that you can win a level. And so the way I can do that is just by generating a level and then sending like a fake player through, randomly jumping to ensure that there's always some path to beat it. So no matter how hard the levels get, there's always a solution. And so that's where we're at. All right, so definitely playable, but yeah, now we're on to the polish phase, man. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. Quite happy. Ah! Almost didn't make it to the end. But maybe you're right. I remember you were saying that I should add in maybe a maximum move speed. Maybe not. These levels are gonna get really long. Flip again. But you'll end up being able to memorize the level, so you could get really fast at it. So that's something I wanted to be an option. Oh, I can't quite just hop through that way. Okay. But yeah, you only have a couple seconds. You really gotta focus. Okay. Oh man. Oh. Add a little indicator to show whether or not you can do a backflip at the current state. Woo! All right, pretty solid though. I'm really happy with where we're at. All right, so that's it for today. That's my session 2. So I have a playable game. I'm at 1 hour and 58 seconds. And 58 minutes. 1 hour and 58 minutes, not 58 seconds. And so my last session, I get an hour. I have a playable game. I get an hour to just try and make the game really nice. All right, so if you watched this far, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something, and have a wonderful rest of your day.